Well, the guys are on the break now, don't know where they've gone to. Let's go to the kitchen and get ourselves a treat. GCB, the moose, and the candy man. Like a freight train rolling, bringing truth bombs down the line. Promoting the Southland 1 week at a time. Promoting the Southland 1 week at a time. SCV CHAT starts now.
Chug, 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 chug. He had to get the taste of that salty popcorn out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I
noticed your bat.
You still got a kernel right there in your teeth.
Well, screw it. We'll do it live. Well, I mean, in defense, I was trying to celebrate with being the 4-year anniversary of SCV CHAT, and Connor's talking about my hair and the fact that I, being a fat man, was
Adam, who is he talking about fat?
No, well, I won't say fat. I'll say overweight. I called my doctor, told him my weight. He told me, I don't think you understand. We want your weight to go down, not up.
I think Adam froze. No,
Adam was dead.
There's movement.
Oh, no, there's an eyeball.
There's movement.
He has a shirt on.
Which is odd for the Frank and Sarah Powell Pavilion.
Very odd.
But hey, the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily those of the SCV GC, nor any division, brigades, camps, or other subsidiaries, strictly those of us expressing them. Happy 4 years.
Our surprise guest might or might not get on. We don't know yet.
Well, it's not really a surprise because you kind of said he was going to be on there. We're still going to roast him.
No, it's still going to roast him. I mean, he has no choice in the matter. But it is a crazy, crazy thing. It's been 4 years. There goes Adam. So I guess all the guests tonight have just said piss off.
Well, there's not good
Adam don't
Wi-Fi.
love us. Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's not good Wi-Fi on the Frank and Sarah Powell porch. But hey, if you make some donations to the museum, we can get better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I still can't believe 4 years, dude. We've been doing this every Monday for 4 long years.
Well, not every Monday. We've done some replays and we've skipped some episodes.
90% of the Mondays.
Yeah. But four long, arduous years.
Ugh.
You put that in perspective.
And to think, we didn't know how long this was going to last.
Yeah, we still don't know how long this is going to last.
We're riding the lightning bolt, as to steal a phrase from one of my favorite athletes when talking about playing a sport. Is like, you ride the lightning bolt as long as you can, and make sure that hopefully by the end of it you're not fried.
All I'm going to say is, to paraphrase the 80s rock ballad, we're living on a prayer.
We are definitely living on a prayer.
Oh, wait.
Oh. There he is.
Stop it. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
Can you hear
Adam.
us?
What's up?
Do you understand the words coming out of our mouth?
Barely.
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it.
And we've been doing 4 years of this, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam was there on day one.
Yep. He was drinking with us that night. If memory serves correct, that evening, you had just finished one bottle of Gentleman Jack, and then all of a sudden, the wonderful, beautiful staff at headquarters brought you a whole handle of it.
I think you must be mistaking that with sweet tea.
Yeah, I drank a lot of sweet tea that night myself, Adam.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie on air.
Actually,
I don't bourbon.
Honestly, I don't know what I was drinking. Adam and Kayla were just handing me stuff, and I was just like, okay, yeah, sure.
Well, that's if Kayla's handing you a drink, I would watch it. Never know what she'll hand you.
Well, at that time he was just a little cutie patootie.
Yeah, that time I was cute, I was young, and not a pain in everybody's butt. Now every time I see Kayla, she's like, I need you to move this and then get out of my way or I'll throw you down them stairs.
It's before she really knew us.
Yeah, bless her heart. This is before all y'all knew us. Bless y'all's heart.
It was before Hot Springs, and you called her Adam's.
Nope. No.
What?
Nope.
I called her an old lady. I remember that.
Oh shoot!
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah.
And then later it was old corn dog.
And in your oratory speech, I believe you referred to her as Stonewall Corn Dog.
No. I said that she was the second in command of Mississippi's armed forces as the leader of the Corn Dog Cavalry. And she was like getting mad at Adam and everybody. Like, y'all knew he was going to do it. I was like, no, I didn't know I was going to do that. I just saw you there. And I was like, well, if I'm going to die, I might as well at least try to be funny.
Meanwhile, Adam's sitting there with a bucket on his head.
Yeah, we do have a picture of Adam with a bucket on his head.
After he shot me and shot Moose.
Shot me a lot. He unloaded years of frustration and having to deal with me.
And he still got some more pent up.
I honestly, I think I need to stop coming to HQ because I feel like I don't help. I just make Adam angry. So for everybody's safety, I guess I need to stop going up to HQ.
Oh, I can. You Hey, speaking of moose hunt,
What?
you ready to see the weapon for next year's moose hunt?
No, we don't know if we're doing it next year.
We are.
Uh, uh, what the heck?
I could have brought one of those this year.
Well,
No.
it'll cost more to be able to do that one.
How much
Are
is
you-
that?
Instead of buy the shot, you buy the
About-
drum, I guess.
Yeah. Well, actually, Amazon says it's not available.
Thank goodness. Yes, 4 years, and this year alone, we got over 1 million views
On Facebook alone.
on Facebook alone. We got 1.1, I think, all around. Go back and watch our update video exclusively on YouTube. So subscribe while you're there.
Found one. Yeah, here we go.
But yeah, no, 4 years, living the dream, I guess.
Launched
Oh.
40 darts in a row with this motorized X-Shot Insanity blasting. It comes on a tripod.
Stop that. Stop that. What have I done to you people? I've been good.
Yeah, but it was so much fun.
What have I finished?
Yes, Todd. Yes, Todd, he does.
Oh gosh, yes, I do. But yet I don't want one. Oh wait, I've just missed that. The old one looked pretty tight. It was very tight. No good. No good.
Well, the thing about hopefully next year,
We're only
So-
doing it
so-
one more time, so come to
No,
National
no.
Reunion.
no, we're not.
This is
So-
not becoming a thing.
So again, for those that missed it last week, and Adam could talk more about it, we raised about $87,000 at National Reunion, with the majority of it going towards the museum. And we are finally under $1 million in debt on it. So it's a very attainable number for us to be able to continue our annual donations, especially by July 15th, 2025. That's a very important date. I think Adam froze up again. Yep. But once the museum is paid off, we're going to be raising money for the forest, rides again, the reconstruction of the plaza. So Moose, you
2 more
said
years.
that you
I would
said
do
that
it
you
for
would
General Forest.
exactly.
But so you have what? It's Texas, and then you have Kentucky. And that's it.
Kentucky.
And
Well,
we
and
are-
then, if we get that 2028 bid, if we do it,
no, I'm not doing it in front of my home people. No, not when
you're
I'm asked.
you're
Not when I'm running for offices. No, that's going to be no.
so
Better than the speed.
So again, we'll talk about it for sure next year with the big Gatling gun.
That's
That'll-
just rough.
Yeah. Well, hey, look on the bright side. You don't have to police all the brass.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare to do it on that thing. I mean, you know how long it would take to get everything?
Yeah. So that's probably gonna have to look into getting some extra belts for it.
Yeah. The Moose Mania will be up next week. I just didn't
Yeah.
have time this week.
You know what my absolute favorite picture of Moose Hunt was?
No more pictures. We agreed on that. We agreed it would just be on Patreon. And then I want them I want them burnt. Burnt.
They're on the
All of
web. They're on the web. You can't burn the web.
I'll go ahead and have a poster size made of that one.
See,
I'm
y'all thought
going-
we were kidding when we said Adam was wearing a bucket.
He was wearing it for his own protection at some point. Oh gosh. We'll think about it. We'll think about doing a moose hunt.
Oh, we're doing one next year.
Yeah, we're doing one. I think it's written in the Constitution now.
Hey, that would be a good change to the standing orders.
Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and have the protocol officer add that to the standing orders for reunions.
If someone else will be the moose, yeah.
I've already got one. I can write a second. So 4 years. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. What did you say that was? Like how many days that was? So let's just put it into retrospect. That's 100 or 1,460 days. And let's see here. How many Mondays is that? We usually do about 40 episodes a year. That's 160 episodes. Actually, I did the math the other day, and I think we're at like 170. So, yeah, we're closing in on our 200th episode.
We had to do something special for that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Possibly go somewhere and do something.
We'll figure something out. I mean, I want us to do something special, but I mean, I still just can't believe it. Honestly, if you would have told me this show would have taken off the way it had, I would have laughed. Like I thought we would have like fun. I thought it would end and begin and end probably in Commander McClooney's term.
Yeah. Anyway, so
go ahead. Go ahead. This is a celebration of us, which is weird.
I thought that we'd have had our stuff pulled that December.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, we all thought that the move to Facebook would kill us.
Oh God, yes.
Because I mean, we were getting like on Twitch, we were this close to a partnership, which is like you have to have 200 to 300 people watch a week, and back then those were good numbers.
Right.
Compared to our numbers now, it's like no, that's not good. But back then we were like, oh my gosh, we went from 10 people to 200. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh yeah, the Facebook is going to kill us because they'll definitely pull the show. They still might. They still might. And we were like, no one's going to come over and watch. And then now we have like our own personal fan base, if that makes sense, which is weird to say.
You have more of the fan base than I do, though. So that's
we have like whole camps that go out every month and pick their favorite SCV chat episode to watch us at their camp meeting. Which is just blows my mind. I honestly think that's awesome.
I don't even have a favorite episode. I take that back. I'm lying. Probably the Barksdale one was probably my favorite one. I did a lot of research into that one.
I have a couple. I really love our reaction ones when we're tearing some fake history apart. I I love these that it's just us talking about whatever pops into our head and having a good time. I love the scripted episodes where we have something to talk about. I love going out and covering events. I do enjoy that. It can get interesting.
It can.
But I mean, it's so weird to take something that was a brainchild of a very sweet tea filled night.
I don't know what y'all keep saying sweet tea for. We were drinking bourbon. Read the website.
I have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, and it's and it's not too good.
No. With my luck, I'm in charge, or I'm not in charge, but I help out with youth missions at my church, and before that I was a leader at the BSU up in Oxford, and they would always look at me and like, we keep finding these videos online where you say you drink bourbon but you don't, right? And I'm like, no. Connor kept throwing me under the bus the first year. Connor would basically just be like, oh no, we were all in a bottle of bourbon deep.
We used to drink on the first year on the show actively.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Some of us still do.
Some of us still do. Oh gosh. Yeah. It's been a crazy ride, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
It's on! He made it!
He made it! We were scared.
Come on. Give us a Ric Flair woo. Come on.
Woo!
Yes! Yes!
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Sorry about being so late, fellas. We had the Tennessee division. As you know, I'm an adjutant for Tennessee division now, and we had a Zoom call. I got off that just a few minutes ago and thought I'd come say hi to y'all.
Well, good. I've got my list of insults ready.
Let's have them.
Okay.
Bring them on.
So before we get started, we do want to say that
We
we're
love
kind
you.
of mixing. Well, we love you, and we're kind of mixing our Thank You, Jason episode we originally planned with our 4-year anniversary. So we don't think there's a better way to celebrate 4 years of SCV Chat than roast a man that we have come to respect, love like a brother, admire, and really one of the background players of SCV Chat, and tell him, sir, we love you, but this is definitely going to sting maybe a little bit.
Well,
No, I don't think it's going to sting that badly.
if I could have found my T-Rex shirt, I'd have put that on instead of the SCV Chat, but I couldn't find it.
I do love that you remembered the last year. That I was looking through my pictures of last year, and the if you're happy and you know it, clap your O shirt. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wore that one. That was actually, I think I might have found it, and I might have could have reached it, but my arms were too short to get all the way back there to do it, so I had to let it go. You know.
Yeah. Beat me to that one. Gotta mark that one off the list.
Wearing an OG Chat shirt, if that, one of the first ones.
Oh yeah.
And I for those wondering, Jason does have a tie with us on it.
Yes, I do. I'm not wearing the tie out here.
Well, it'd be weird if you would.
Well, yeah. I just looked on here and saw we have the original Velvet Elvis on here as well.
Oh yeah, Adam wanted to participate.
Participate? You wanted to participate? You know what, Harrison? I was going to say this, but I'm so glad that you went ahead and said that, so I can say, Harrison, I have met sharper tools in a sandbox than you sometimes.
Well, Adam wanted to participate. Now that you're no longer his boss, he feels like he wanted to host.
That didn't stop us from razzing him anyway, but.
Oh, there he goes.
He's gone on that.
Yeah, he's gone. Jesus.
This has been pent up for 2 years. You need to come back here so you can hear this.
them little T-Rex arms didn't even get crossed over that pot belly. Them little T-Rex arms just went ahead and jolted out. All right, while we are waiting on Jason to return back, for those that do not know the full T-Rex story and how this happened, when Jason was AOT councilman, his first term on the council, Tom Strain was commander-in-chief, and there was a motion, or Jason had made a motion on a very heated topic, and the debate began happening, and somebody wanted to offer an amendment to the motion, and somebody eventually asked him to withdraw the motion so that they could make a better motion. And now, according to Tom Strain, Jason just crossed them little T-Rex arms over that pot belly, and he said, "No, I ain't withdrawing my motion." So that's where that came from, the start of it. Now, at the Kenner reunion, when was Kenner? 4 years ago? No, 3 years ago.
21.
Yeah.
21.
When we had the Army of Tennessee meeting, Jason was, I believe our good friend in your Tennessee division compatriot, I can't remember if it was Joey Nolan or if it was Kevin Winthrop, made the motion that you should be the official mascot for the Army of Tennessee, and that in your likeness we would adopt a T-Rex.
Yep. I believe I was in the meeting when that happened.
You're standing in the back of the room talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden you peeked your head on up. Huh?
Yeah. I remember that. Yep. And the T-Rex.
So,
I've about decided that with friends like that, I don't need any more enemies, you know? Yeah. So,
we didn't mean to be mean.
I voted against it, by the way. You know, I voted against it.
Not according to the official minutes of the meeting. It passed unanimously.
Okay.
I know the guy who was taking minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it you?
So, yeah. Yeah, it was.
It was funny. And it was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny.
It was.
So
it was great.
Are we ready to get started? I'm getting my stuff ready.
Well, I did not turn my do not disturb off. So somebody was trying to call me, and when I tried to turn it off, everything just went haywire. So
it was probably Kayla calling to say that she hates you.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't call me to say that. Every time I look at her, I know, you know, so I try not to ever look at her because I know if she looks at me, it's going to be one of those "I hate you" looks, you know.
I will say she looked a little envious of Elbow's tiara that she got.
Hey, I'm staying out of the tiara deal. I got the death stare.
You learned firsthand. That's what she started to hate.
Oh, hey, it kicked into overdrive with that. That's all I could say. I mean, it was daggers. I literally saw daggers.
Yeah. No, you can. Is that video available on YouTube, Harrison?
Yeah, it's the SCV Chat Awards video still. You can still see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see her. No, my tiara.
Oh, yeah. She threatened to kill him.
Yes. Yes. And then one of the greatest things that she ever did was I was walking. We were up there at the house and at Elm Springs. And I'd parked in the grass because we're parking in the grass to let people drive through by the house. And as I was walking toward the house, all of a sudden she slammed the brakes on. And then she goes, "Well, I almost run over you because you were so short I couldn't see you over the hood."
Oh, I'm sure that was the
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Poor Adam, man.
I notice he ain't saying anything.
No.
I'm just letting y'all go at it.
on this topic, he's gonna shut his happy self up because he's still got to go back to Culleoka.
Hey, as long as she's messing with y'all, I don't have to worry about it. Gives me a reprieve.
Well, we do it for you. That's it. Well, how is
Probably one of the greatest honors that any CIC has received is having that portrait unveiled by King Charles.
Yes. I just really wish that Queen Elizabeth was still here to see that.
Yeah.
You know,
well, yeah,
That'd never would have happened then.
yeah.
it never would have happened. I don't know. I would have liked to have posed with her and the corgis in front of it. That would have been pretty good.
Harrison's doing things. I don't know. First he makes us late because he's eating popcorn and he's trying to fix his hair. Now he's bringing up pictures of things that are already loaded in the brand folder.
Yeah. Y'all know that when we went down to reunion at Kenner, Jason got pickpocketed down in New Orleans. And when I heard it, I said, well, how could somebody stoop that low?
That's a good one.
Man's wallet.
Oh. Well, at the Mobile reunion, Carl Jones had said that he got accosted by some midgets, and now I'm kind of wondering, did you rob Carl while in Mobile, Jason?
I didn't have a step ladder. I wasn't carrying one around with me. Yeah. Carl's kind of tall, so no, I didn't pickpocket him. But yes, it's actually bad. That's the reason why I don't wear purple, because if I ever wear purple, I get accused of being an Oompa Loompa. So I don't do that. And I don't wear green because then they think I'm a leprechaun. And there's nothing worse than when you're walking along somewhere and somebody picks you up and goes, give me that leprechaun gold. Give me that leprechaun gold,
Damn. Okay. All right. So Harrison doesn't want to do the moose hunt next year. Can we do the leprechaun hunt?
Yeah, are you asking me if you can do it?
No, I'm asking you if you'll dress up like a leprechaun and let people shoot you with a Nerf gun.
I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it was going to motivate me to lose weight. Because I'm already so short that you couldn't hit me. If I lose enough weight and I turn sideways, I'll look like an exclamation point, a real short one. So that might be a hard target to hit. And I might just get quick enough. If I was to lose, like 80 pounds, then I might be tough to hit.
Not but a
Yes, but yeah, I'm good with y'all want to do a leprechaun hunt. I'll keep the whiskers keep growing out, and I'll do a leprechaun hunt.
Well, as we're chasing you around, you got to say they're after me, Lucky Charms. Well,
that's a given.
Unless that's trademarked, in which case, we can't do that. Harrison, what are you doing besides being as useful as a screen door in a submarine? Well, that's Harrison. That's your problem.
Well, okay.
It did look like Kenny Rogers.
He went through a Kenny Rogers phase there.
Well, I would have kept on. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that was a magical night if there ever was one.
Jason, that was your best birthday ever. You know it was. So right before the pilgrimage, I had to stop at Five Below here in Jackson and get a new phone charger for the car. And new phone charger. And they had this giant, it's not even inflatable, rubber T-Rex that was like $2. I was like, okay, I'll get it and give it to Jason, and it'll be funny. Well, and in fact, you can actually see my car in the background of Jason's head. So as I'm sitting there, and we get up there, and Harrison's forgot the tripod at the hotel room. I run, so I'm like, here, Kayla, have this. Make fun of Jason with it. And she puts it in hiding. And we go to this restaurant for supper. And all of a sudden, out comes the waitress with the cake. And the cake, the T-Rex, you see how big it is. Well, the cake was, here, she got a full picture of the cake. Okay. Sadly, we don't have a full picture of the cake. But you can kind of see a little bit. It's about the size of that plate with this giant, oversized T-Rex on it. The poor waitress was dying out laughing. She thought that it was for like a kid's birthday or something like that. And here it comes to this 80-year-old man.
Yeah. She had the same expression on her face as I did on mine.
Well, in that picture, you look constipated, and the other one, she looked happy, or she was happy.
Well, I know she laughed a lot at us that night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. I just was spending my time uploading some of my favorite pictures and memes.
We have several of them. Believe that. Oh, look how young Moose looks in that. So young and naive and happy and not.
Before I started working with all these crazy
Before
people.
we crush his dreams.
Before my dreams were crushed.
You know, Harrison, back then it looked.
Looks like a heartbeat. Boom, boom.
That looks like a heart attack, is what that looks like.
Well, it's because Harrison's in it.
I have to admit that I was a little uncomfortable standing beside Forrest. Go back to that picture. Because if I lay my arm out to the right, he's getting a butt hug.
Yeah. Well, with
looks like
you,
big and little Edith Burdett.
We're going to get the bandit.
Speaking of,
because he's thirsty, dummy.
Give me $500 on the bandit. Daddy, come on, Daddy, give me $500 on the bandit.
I got like so many of these.
Oh yeah, that's when I was doing something. I don't know what. Now that one, I don't know that I've ever seen it. Oh yeah, now I've seen it. Yeah, I remember that.
See, you did get an Ewok.
Hey, I'm actually flattered by that one. I love them little dudes. I mean, I would have felt right at home with them, you know, just hanging around, jabbing people with spears and talking gibberish. It would have been funny, man. I would have had the time of my life.
Well, you know, we do need an official mail stick bearer for next year. Maybe that can be your job in retirement.
Oh, yeah. That was a day that will live in infamy. That is one of the highlights of my entire life right there.
Meeting the Thomas Franklin.
Yes.
It was just a fleeting moment, wasn't it?
What'd you say?
It was just a fleeting moment. He was there and gone.
Well, yeah. Well, it was more like passing gas. You just kind of breezed right through. You know, so yeah. Yeah. It was just like crop dusting. Thomas Franklin was crop dusting. He just come through and passed off his vein of sausage and then just left for the evening.
You really need to write a book.
We already have the cover for it.
I know. Life is fleeting, like a crop dusting fart.
Well, yep.
Adam, put that on a t-shirt and sell it at headquarters.
All right.
At least I didn't say a Taco Bell one.
Yeah.
Gets
I like
better,
the-
too, is the thing.
Yeah, I like the Ewok music better. I'll say that.
Yeah, that was the Jurassic Park theme.
Yep.
He's still muted. He's still muted. Hold on.
Yeah, I love y'all too. You know, it.
Trying so hard not to laugh because you had to have my volume playing to hear the theme, and I knew that.
Yeah,
I still like the Ewok music better.
Yeah. Well, if you could seek re-election, we would do that. But
Well,
This is a very informal idea of a roast. It had always been my grand plan to have a huge roast, a dinner party of the past outgoing CIC, but this will have to do until we can get that together. But, I spent a lot of time on the road with past Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshers, and I got to noticing that when he gives speeches and he starts talking about his earlier life, he doesn't say that when I was a child, or when I was little. He'll say when I was this size. But you got to hand it to Commander-in-Chief Boshers, and I mean you really got to hand it to him because he can't reach it. But one day he came in the headquarters and he told me, he said, "Adam, I'm not happy." And then he crossed his little T-Rex arms, and I said, "Well, which one of the little dwarfs are you then?"
that's good.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of time with him. I really have, and I can't tell him how much I thank him for the real great job that he did as our past Commander-in-Chief. Not many people know this story, but on the way back from our reunion this year, the U-Haul trailer that transports all of our merchandise to and from reunion, it broke down somewhere in Georgia, and I was 2 hours away from it, and didn't know really what to do. But the first person I thought to call was Commander-in-Chief Boshers, because I know he's always there and he's always willing to help. So he and Linda were heading that way, and they got there, and they helped the staff any way that they can. And that's just the kind of person he is and the kind of Commander-in-Chief he was. He was always willing to help and do the job that needed to be done. So Jason, we appreciate all you've done for the SCV, and thank you. Look forward to serving with you for the next 6 years.
Well, Adam, I do appreciate everything. Do appreciate everything you've done. You have actually made this a lot of fun. I kind of knew that we were going to get along real well when we went to South Carolina and picked up the artillery wheels. You remember that?
Yep.
When we were coming back, we were coming through Knoxville. And Knoxville had its usual number of idiots behind the wheel. And but this had an exceedingly abundant number of them. And I guess I went on a road rant. And I must have just been talking and not really thinking about it, because we had the windows down and smoking a cigar and just making our way through there, and was in my Tundra. And I look over and Adam's laughing. And I have no idea what I said that was so funny. But for the next 10 minutes, all he did was laugh at me. So,
Yep.
but there was something else we agreed on too. Another time we went to pick up some stuff, and we're trying to stay in a hotel room that night, and we're trying to figure out the best way to get there the next morning. And I said, okay, we can go and we can stay on this road, or we can go down and turn left by the Krispy Kreme. And he goes, well, let's go by the Krispy Kreme.
Yep.
You know, that's a man after my own heart right there. Let's go by the Krispy Kreme, you know. So, yeah, and you know, the whole thing about Kayla hating me was Adam can tell the story better than I can. All I can do is tell my side of the story. I was coming around the museum in the golf cart, and all of a sudden, they're all looking at me laughing. Do you know the rest of the story, Adam?
I can't remember what exactly happened, but I remember Kayla saying, well, hell, I might as well just, or she doesn't cuss. Heck, I might as well walk over there. I can get there faster than he can drive. He drives slow or something like that.
So that started the whole thing on it. So they've been great to work with, Kayla and him both. And Adam's been great. We've had some conversations neither one of us wanted to have, but we had them. And we conducted them the way that they should be conducted. And we both voiced our opinion. If we agreed, wonderful. If we didn't agree, we found the best solution. And nobody left there angry. Nobody left there upset, because what Adam has in his heart and in his mind is whatever is best for the organization. And I feel that way as well. It doesn't matter personally what I want to do. What is the best thing to do for the organization? And Adam does that. I had one particular interest, and that was the fact that I wanted to protect HQ. That is our hearth and home. That is the soul and the backbone of our organization, because all of our records are kept there. Now we have this National Confederate Museum, this baby of ours. And are we going to raise the baby? And how are we going to raise the baby? And, you know, how's the right way to do this? And, you know, it's a lot of the decisions that I made and that I wanted to do was what's best for General Headquarters and the staff up there for General Headquarters. And Adam has made that easy, because I've talked with Adam about that. What's the best thing that you need? And I hope I did a decent job with that. You know, I've never won these people with accolades. Don't call me past commander in chief. I'm Jason. I'm J-Bo. I'm T-Rex. I'm whatever. Because I don't get hung up on those titles. It was my turn to sit in the chair and do the job. And that's what I wanted to do, was sit in the chair and do the job to the best of my ability. And now that I'm no longer sitting in the chair, I was even J-Bo or Jason or whatever, T-Rex, short, fat, hateful little man, whatever you wanted to call me, I was fine with. Because it was to me always about the job. And it was that way even when I was commander in chief. Adam spoke to me about the roast, and I was all for it. I would think that, because I grew up with the Dean Martin roast. And, you know, I grew up with, you know, Don Rickles. And I grew up with all of these men that were coming on, like Foster Brooks. You know, I would have loved to have just been roasted by everybody, because I was going to have the final say so there at the end. You know, because that would have been the beauty in all of it.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, it ain't over yet. I'm waiting for my chance to give my little actual talking points of it.
Do you want to go before me or after?
Well, you can go on ahead and go, Harrison, because you're about as exciting as watching grass grow and twice as slow. So I'll finish up.
Or you could say I'm just as slow as Jason growing.
Hey, I want y'all to know I haven't grown since the third grade. All right, except out. I have expanded. I have not grown higher. I've grown out. I mean, I just went and bought a new boomerang just a couple of weeks ago so I can put my belt on. You know, because the other one, I needed a bigger one to be able to go out and come farther. Yeah.
Just go ahead and get suspenders like the rest of us.
Yeah.
But I mean, would a T-Rex look good in suspenders? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
And now I'm going to make that picture.
Well, as long as he's still wearing pants. As long as it's not just suspenders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and go, Harrison.
Let's hear it.
Jason, you've helped me grow in this organization so much. It was an honor of my life to be your aide de camp and to get the coffee on the top shelf so you can have it to drink at the GEC meetings, our reunion. You've taught me how to have a sense of humor and how a man with short little arms can run just as quick sometimes. And hard work and dedication like no other man. He gave it his all for this organization, and we've had deep talks about how to improve. And that's why I've always wanted him to stick on the chat even after his term ended, because I love hearing his ideas for the show. And it meant the world to me, man. Even if, you know, I might have got on your nerves a bit. It's just been great. And even, you know, I always say that me and Jason and Dad look like a heartbeat simply because he has been the heartbeat of this show for a while too. And as you notice, it doesn't flatline. It doesn't stay low. It does come back. And you've been great, Jason. I think I've roasted you a lot throughout the past 2 years, so I wasn't going to do a lot in my roast other than thank you and say that I want you to go back to your Kenny Rogers phase. And thank you, Jason.
Do you want me to respond?
Please.
No.
Okay. First of all, you and Connor brought this idea in Jacksonville. Y'all brought it. It was a great idea. I believed in it. I believed in y'all first, you know, and I saw your enthusiasm for it, and I'm going, let's just see where this road takes us. And, you know, y'all were just like Burt Reynolds and Smokey and the Bandit. Y'all lit the Firebird up, lit the tires, off you were gone. And that was a beautiful part of it. I was happy to see it grow. There was a time there that I backed off from it a little bit because I wanted y'all to grow it. It needed to be y'all's show. Now, as far as, you know, some of the things that you've done, yes, I was glad for you to be there because I agree. I can't reach, you know, the coffee on the top shelf. And, you know, that's where the coffee is always the warmest because heat rises. And, you know, so I needed you to be able to do that. If not, I was going to have to stand on your shoulders and do it. So I did not know if you wanted boot prints on your shoulders to be able to get up there and get the coffee. So thank goodness you were there for that. You know, yes, there's been some times I've watched the show and I have learned one valuable lesson. Enunciation is important. Knowing how to say words is important. You know, because I have watched the show and there have been some interesting phrases that you have turned out over time And I'm going to compile those. And in some point in time, you're going to be roasted. And there's going to have to be an accounting from you of each one of these. Because we were typing out how to enunciate stuff in the chat. So,
And it still didn't help.
Still didn't help.
Well, I didn't say we did a good job of it. I just said we did it. Okay. There's a difference between doing it and doing it good. So, but yeah, as far as working with you and working with your dad, seriously speaking, it's been very good. It really has. I'm happy to see that you've taken the role that you have in this. I realize now that when we were sitting out there and listening to you and Connor talk about this, and I saw your enthusiasm, and I go, yeah, this is something that we need to do. I realized that was one of the few correct decisions that I made. And it was a good decision to allow y'all to do this and to do the show. And I'm proud that you've done it. I'm proud of what you've done. I'm proud that you took it upon your shoulders and you did it all by yourself. And you ran with it and you expanded it. There's a whole lot left to do with it. Y'all were just the beginning. But all good things have to start somewhere. And y'all started a very good thing. I think both of you had a great idea. Somebody asked me if I was going to be bringing my past commander-in-chief flag to my commander-in-chief flag to any of the next reunions now that I'm no longer commander-in-chief. And the first thing that went through my mind was, no, I don't want Harrison to lose it again. So.
Now that reminds me of the scene out of Smokey and the Bandit. But who's going to tote your flag, Daddy?
Yep. That is one of those. That was one of those. Yes. He come up and he goes, where's your flag? I don't know. I thought you had it. Yeah.
Oh Lord, he's a cutie patootie though, according to Kayla.
That's what Kayla says.
Yeah, I've heard several say that. He gets by with a lot of stuff because he's cute. That's what I heard. Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure that's a good thing because I grew up watching country music when everybody was ugly.
And it's changed. I don't know. Landy Wilson's kind of hot. My views and opinions.
Well, but nobody ever called Merle Haggard a handsome thing. And the reason why he gets by with so much is he's so cute. I don't think anybody ever said that about Merle Haggard.
Yeah. No, they didn't.
Mm-mm.
Well, you about ready?
The Don Rickles of the Confederacy's coming up.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and be honest. I was thinking about it this morning. When was the first time I met Jason? And I think it was the Vicksburg National Reunion in 2013. You were sitting on the curb and your little feet were just swinging and dangling off of it. And we struck up a conversation. It's been all downhill from there. But, with my stature versus your stature, I've got to, get downhill for you. But you look. I would say that Jason is the only commander-in-chief in our history who needed a step stool to be able to see over the lectern there on the dais. But he did have Larry McClooney in front of him, and Larry's a little feller too. I often make the joke whenever I introduce Larry that I used to look up to him until I hit about the 8th grade and I hit a growth spurt and. But still, you had some shoes to fill with Larry. Larry was a good commander-in-chief, and you were an excellent lieutenant commander-in-chief. And I'm not going to get too emotional because you already know how I feel about you. But one good thing I can say about them, you never overshadowed any of them. I mean, you were in step with continuing progress in the organization. But the one thing I love about you, Jason, especially those that are still listening to this. We make all these jokes about Jason's height and stature, but Jason does have a very big heart. And a big heart for this organization. And, some would say that's normal size human heart, but no, it's 3 times larger. So we appreciate that. Being commander in chief of the SCV was a natural fit for Jason. I believe that. I believe that back the day that we were at that memorial service when we talked about you running for AOT councilman, that you would do great things. You would lead this organization further into towards victory. And who better than to lead the charge from somebody who's already close enough to the ground? So that was one good quality that you had. They say that great leaders stand tall, but you took that as a challenge, and I commend you for the great couple years you did with that. But seriously, folks, Jason is a giant in so many ways. He may be short in stature, but he's really tall in spirit and wisdom and courage. He led this organization with grace and strength and a sense of humor that has gotten him and all of us through many tough times. And his leadership is as solid as his reach is, as well as it is short. How does somebody who barely hits 5 foot mark command anything, let alone the SCV? That's the thing. You have to be a great man. And another great quality of him is, because he's so short, he could see the tiny details up close. It's literally no small feat leading this organization. I've called Jason many a time, and he's been stressed out with, some type of behind the scenes decision, whether it was when he was lieutenant commander in chief and he was working his little legs off with the Bedford Forest reinterment, or stuff on the museum. He's always been one to always return a call. And I really do. All joking aside, I have nothing but the greatest respect and admiration for you. You have done a monumental job in the short time that you had in office. And I'm going to miss you as commander in chief, but I'm very honored and proud to have you as a friend. I'm still going to call you every so often to complain about things. So you don't get to get rid of that. I like having my own personal talking garden gnome. Norman back here, he does a good job cutening up the office, but he doesn't talk back. So I get that with you, and I love you, brother. I appreciate everything you've done for this organization. The countless miles that you've put on your truck, especially, thank you. And we haven't said this, but thank you to Elbow for giving, you to our organization to serve our cause, to serve us, and be a commander in chief that we could all be proud for, and proud of. The first ladies, the wives of our commander in chiefs do not get enough thanks. We joked about Kayla. She doesn't get enough thanks. I appreciate you ladies for standing, like Tammy Wynette said, standing by your men, as we do something that is important for posterity's sake. But it's also, in a day where we are hated for what we are and who we are, it'd be very easy to just say, well, you go do your thing, I'm going to do my thing. Every time I've turned around and look down, there you are, but then there's Elbow, chasing after you with a sweet tea, trying to keep you calm and trying to keep you going. So thank you to Elbow as well. So love you, buddy. Love you.
I very well remember the first time I saw you, Connor, but I'm not going to tell that story first. I'm going to tell another story first, because this, I think, highlights something. When I started out, I was strictly a Tennessee boy. I didn't know a whole lot of people outside of the Tennessee division by name, but there was one that I did know because I'd seen him at a number of things, and that was a fellow by the name of Chuck Bond. And Chuck Bond was the first person outside of the Tennessee division that I knew by name. And I talked to him a few times, and he got to know me, and I got to know him. And, you know, he said one time, "See that boy over there?" I said, "Yep, that's my son." I said, "Okay, maybe sometime I'll get to talk to him." And you were right. I was sitting on the curb there in Vicksburg, my feet dangling off. And I looked up, and there was this ratatouille person hobbling over there to me. And I think this is the kind of person that's going to end up having some candy on him. He's going to end up having some donuts. He's going to end up having something, you know, and I was hungry, you know. So, you know, us garden gnomes got to eat, you know. So I saw you coming up, and I thought, well, you know, maybe I thought about tripping you when you come by, but my legs just weren't long enough. Because if I thought I could have tripped you, I'd have tripped you, and I'd have taken that bag of hootin' toots you had on you. Because I know you had some, because I could smell them, but you wouldn't share them. And he's going, "No, I don't have anything to eat." I'm going, "Yeah, you do. I can smell it. It's in your pockets." Yeah. You know, so. And time went along there, and I ended up giving a talk somewhere down in Mississippi. And, you know, yes, I've never been one of those to stand behind the podium and talk, because you can't see me over it, okay? I know that. I need a booster seat, or at least 3 steps to be able to see over the top of most podiums. And I thought, well, I'll just come out there, and I'll get this voice going. And I go out there, and I'm saying, okay, if you can't hear me, just reach up. And all of a sudden, out of the back comes Connor Bond going, "Why don't you stand up?" Personally, that hurt my feelings, if you can believe I had feelings. If you believe I have feelings, you know that hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So I really wish I could have pulled a stick out and tripped you back in Vicksburg, and I'd have eaten every one of them hootin' toots, and I would have stuck the bag over your head and choked the life out of you.
Yeah, well.
So, you know, so my appreciation to you ended with the hootin' toots, all right? But that's the way it goes. And, you know, time went by. I got to know you through Larry and through so many events, and I know I've already talked about that, but I already got to know you, and not really Harrison as much. I really got to know Harrison right before y'all brought this to us in 2020. And I thought, well, but I saw the enthusiasm. And I got to be honest, I was sitting there looking at you. Y'all two were talking. Being a computer nerd, I understood what you were talking about, and I knew what everybody was starting to do. And then I saw the enthusiasm of y'all two, and I thought, this is Chuck Bond's boy. It would be wrong not to give Chuck Bond's boy an opportunity to run with something. That is a good idea.
Waddle was something.
Run with it is more of a theory than an actual physical interpretation.
Okay.
Of running, because you and I share the same horizontal challenge that we both do. So I know that there's a reason why I don't run. My eyes jiggle too much, and I figure that's probably the same with you. You know, you run.
It ain't my eyes jiggling. After I get done running, my fat hurts.
Well, that's kind of a personal thing, and maybe you need to talk to somebody else about that. We're not going to get into that. But I just thought it would have been wrong to have not let y'all do this. And that's the reason why, and I believed in it. I knew it was the right thing to do. I know this is the direction everything was going. So the question was, are these the two guys to do it? And the answer was yes. Time has proven you make a decision and time proves if it was a good decision or not. Time has proven sitting there at that table and saying, yeah, let's do this, with y'all two leading it, that was a good decision. And I'm proud of both of you. I'm still mad about the hoot and toots. I don't know that I'll ever get over that because they are the favorite snack of a garden gnome, right behind the little chocolate covered donuts. Okay. Chocolate covered donuts it's just, I mean, that's gnome crack right there. If you want to get a garden gnome addicted to crack, you just bring him some little chocolate covered donuts and that will do it. But you had hoot and toots and, that's a good second. So I'm still hurt about that, but I'll get over it.
Well, I think you ended up with a bottle that was a good first. So,
well, the bottle is in the cabinet, and it is in the cabinet with several other special bottles, because I will, as long as the God leaves me my mind, I will always remember Chuck Bond. And I will always remember the kindness he showed me when this boy from Tennessee was standing there holding a flag, fixing to do a march, and I knew his name and I called it out, and he come over there and he talked to me like he had known me for 20 years. Now, I don't know if he even remembered my name, but I know in time he did get to know my name because he called me by my name a few times. And it was, your dad had an impact. You had an impact. Harrison, your daddy's having an impact. You're having an impact. And that's all we can do in this organization is we have impacts. And there's different ways to do it. That is accomplishing stuff on the local level, on the division level, on the national level, or that has been with influencing people. And the greatest thing that you can do is influence somebody, and hopefully they will be better than you. I hope anybody who follows behind me is better than me. I want this organization to grow. I planned on this organization growing. There's all work that we need to do. The three of y'all I'm looking at right now, and I realize I'm sitting in the dark while this is going on. But as I look out at y'all three, all three of y'all have had a positive impact. And the only thing I can do at this point is to encourage you to keep it up and influence people. Be a guide to them. Because I've said for a while that there's a lot of people out there looking for a place to light. And they need the light that our organization can put out for them to have a place to land and to be happy. Because there's a lot of people that feel the way we do. They might not act it every day. They might not know what they might not even realize exactly how they feel. They just know that something's not right. Something's wrong. So you have to be that positive influence that somebody can come to. Chuck Bond was that. Chuck Bond, I mean, come on, I just hollered out his name and he come over there. That was a positive influence. What if he had just ignored it or just looked over there, didn't know the person, just waved and went on? But he didn't. He come over there and he took the time to talk to a boy I was a quartermaster for the camp. This would have been about 2007. And that was all I was, a quartermaster for the camp. He didn't know me from Adam's House Cat, and I don't even know Adam's House Cat. So he didn't know me from him. So But he come over there and he had a positive influence. And I encourage everybody to go out and be a positive influence on the next person that's going to come behind you. And it's not going to hurt to share a hoot and toot. It's not going to hurt to help somebody reach to the top shelf to be able to get their sweet tea or their hot cup of coffee or something like that. It's not going to hurt to give somebody a booster seat to stand on to be able to see over the podium. Do those things because people have done them for me. I hope that's all right.
I'm trying to remember what the hell a hoot and toot was.
I think I put it with him his flag.
Oh.
That's it. That's it.
Well, all I know is I was so short to the ground and I could smell them. And they're in his right front pocket. And you didn't share.
I thought you were a hobo there for a second.
So you were judging me based off the fact that my leg wouldn't reach over the curb, where you were this ratatouille looking dude that was strolling up with a bag of hoot and toots in his right front pocket and wasn't about to share.
Well, like I said, you're sitting on the curb, man.
Yeah, I was born in the gutter. I guess that's where I needed to stay.
I will bring you some hoot and toots next time I see you.
Well, I hate to hurt your feelings, but those Vienna sausage from Thomas Franklin. I mean, that's better. That's better than a steak at the Ritz. You know, Vienna sausage from, Thomas Franklin, a hot dog at the ballpark, or a steak at the Ritz. There's not any difference.
No, there's a big damn difference between a ballpark hot dog and.
Well, you're one of these high class people. You're not one of these people dangling their feet over the gutter. You know?
Yeah, I had my hoot and toots.
And you didn't share.
Oh, I'm trying to find this picture of you and Daddy from the 2014 Heritage Rally. No, wait, maybe, no. That's
that's the one they had down in Shreveport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was there.
I found
and I talked to your daddy. I talked to your daddy that day.
Trying to find it.
Let me ease over here and turn the light on.
All I can think of right now is chocolate covered donuts. And the reason because of that is another part of my duties as Jason's aide de camp was to make sure he got to A to B. And there was this one time that I was just starving, and I was very tempted to just pick Jason up like Luke does Yoda and just start carrying him to places. That's all I can think of right now. And that will be a meme by the end of the week as well.
Well, as long as it ain't a tauntaun.
No. I think the tauntaun was a bit harsh. I do think now, after letting things settle for a minute and thinking about it, I think Jason's like Yoda and I was Luke. I'd pick him up and take him places and grab his flag and get his coffee off the top shelf.
There was one mistake you made with that. You didn't give me piggyback rides because Yoda rode piggyback on Luke. So you made my short little legs have to do a lot of extra work because you wouldn't Skywalker it, buddy. And I ain't going to forget that.
So he's the reason why we ran late.
Yeah. There were times where I just when getting Jason to point A to point B, because I'd beat Jason to every place when I was moving his flags at reunions by a good solid 5-10 minutes. And I'd go back to check on him, and he's just like getting down the stage and he's just hobbling along. And I thought for a second, you know, if I could just get one of them bags at the HQ store, I can put Jason in it and put it on my back and run him places.
Well, I mean, it takes an Ewok a little while to get somewhere. So it's just the nature of the beast.
My first thought while we're waiting on Connor to find this pic, I think my first time meeting you was at...
Let's go get our skates. Wait for me, I got little legs.
Been waiting 4 years.
Well, I tell you what, if y'all decide that you're gonna do that leprechaun hunt, expect that to be said.
We'll do it with a
Excuse me, I got little legs.
I remember my first thought when I saw Jason, and I didn't know who he was, and it was back in 2020 when Connor was really just being like, you need to get out there, you need to start doing something for the cause, and I went to him asking, you know, for guidance, worst mistake of my life, and we went to celebrate Confederate History and Heritage Month. We're at the grave of S.D. Lee. And we're running late, so I'm running, throwing my jacket on, trying to get to Connor with the camera and everything to film it. And all I can think of when I see Jason is this simple thing, because I think this is the first time I met you. Who brought a kid out here? I didn't see his face. I could just see the back of him. And all I could think was, who brought a child here? And then he turned around.
And it didn't get any better. He just fell off the face of the earth after that. Yeah. I do remember that. That was a good time.
It was. I can't find this picture to save my life.
Yeah.
It's out there. I saw it the other day.
Yeah. It's been an interesting. Yeah, I do remember that one. That was a Linda Gramblin phone. You know, we were at a memorial service down in Mississippi, and she handed somebody her phone to take a picture, and you got it and took that selfie. Yep.
Yeah, I think I was taking a picture of all the ladies that were there, and never asked me to take a selfie of somebody, because what I end up doing is or not take a selfie. I end up taking a picture of, you know, somebody. But before I do that, I take a selfie, and you photobomb my selfie.
Can you bring back that mustache and goatee combo is my only question.
If I shave off the beard.
Please do.
Oh, if you want to see some...
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
That is what you call a trip down amnesia lane right there.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Connor looks like so young. What happened?
I met Moose.
Oh, all right then.
If we're to be honest.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Jason has told me, and I tried my best, but the majority of his stress in being commander-in-chief was for me doing something to him. He told me a while ago that, you know, you've brought me every gray hair on my head.
And here I thought it was all Adam's fault.
No, how do you think I got these gray hairs here, Moose?
And for me,
Well, that explains why your daddy doesn't have any hair.
it all fell off by the time I was 6. That's how bad I was for that poor man. It just all fell out.
I mean, and that's saying something, because he's Chuck Norris, you know. Well, no, he's not Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris, when he lays down at night, looks under his bed to see if Forrest Dawes is underneath it, you know. He's not worried about the boogeyman. He's worried about Forrest Dawes. when we were down at the Calhoun County when they put that monument up, and they were going to ask Forrest come up there and say a few words, and I said, "Go get him, Chuck Norris." And he goes, "You say that to me again, I'll roundhouse kick you." And he walked on past because his legs are like 9 feet long, and he took 2 strides, and and he was gone. But I was going to say no, because I don't even have to duck. You'll just swing over my head.
Because when the eyes of a ranger are upon you,
anything you do, they're gonna see. All right, well, we're just gonna end that awkward note.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna find this picture, dag nabbit.
I like this comment that Ron Kennedy made earlier. He said, "Good job, young men," and Adam and T-Rex too. Hey, I'm not even 40 yet.
Let's see. The shoes I'm wearing right now are older than Moose, so yeah, I guess I'm older. I'm an old guy. Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite stories of Jason, and he didn't know, I don't think you knew me much at that point. We'd started working together with SCV Chat. At the time, Connor was telling me, you're going to be an awful leader one day. Please don't run for office. But at the time, we were coming up with a plan to
I did say that.
You did. I think your exact quote was, "Please, for the love of God, don't run for office."
Well, I think the exact quote was, "For the love of God, please don't run for adjutant."
Oh yeah, exactly. It was adjutant, but and then I ended up as camp adjutant. Thanks, Connor. But then we were going to this meeting, and Jason was going to be there, and Connor was like, "Let's just mess with Jason." I was like, I don't really know him that well. I was like, I just kind of met him and started talking to him. This is back when you were just lieutenant commander in chief. You just got into office. It couldn't have been too long. And Connor goes up to Jason and says something. And then I go up to Jason and I look at him dead in the eye with the most serious face and I ask, "Are you my daddy?" And Jason, eyes get wide and he's like, no, and just walks off.
No.
So now for the past 2 years, I've just been saying he is my daddy to anybody. And there's some people that believe it. So that's something I've accomplished.
Well, there were 2 things I knew. First of all, you were too tall to be my youngin'. And second of all, your real daddy was there. And, I didn't want to end up as a was,
Well, and Moose is too ugly to be yours.
No,
Moose, I don't know. You think Moose is too ugly to be mine, even though these ladies have been saying that reason why he gets by with stuff is he is, and I've heard him say cutie patootie. And now you're saying he's too ugly to be my young'un.
Yeah.
I don't know about that now.
I figured out my real name.
Just take the compliment.
I'll take it. Someone asked,
"Well, that's a compliment to Jason."
Someone asked, "What's Harrison's real name then?" And it's Leroy Boshers.
Yeah, because I couldn't have named you Harrison, because I would know now that it'd take you 5 years to be able to learn to pronounce it. So I know. So there's no way I'd have named you Harrison. So
He still can't.
luckily, your daddy did that.
His middle name's Rastus, so
Rastus, yeah, Leroy Rastus Boshers.
I'd have come up with a big biblical name like Ezekiel or something like that.
It's
Or Shadrach or Meshach, I think.
Shadrach, Meshach, and to bed we go.
I was just gonna say he wouldn't be Moose, he'd be the Billy Goat.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with being a billy goat because you're not disappointed with the meal. Because a billy goat eat anything. And so there's something to be said about being an Ewok and a troll, living under a bridge and all of that kind of stuff, because you don't turn down meals and anything you eat's going to be great.
I don't think we ever called you a troll, although I'm kind of regretting it now.
Well, I have been called one. I've been asked if I come out from under a bridge somewhere. Yeah. And which I said, well, of course I lived under the bridge. The one that's out in front of your house, you know? So yeah. I like people having nightmares.
Arm Rack, Radio Shack, and Billy Goat. That's supposed to be our new nicknames, Landon.
Well, if you can figure out how to make it rhyme and put it in a song, we need a new jingle.
When we make a new jingle for our intro, can we have like a little T-Rex come in at the beginning and just like charge at the camera?
Only if he's wearing suspenders.
We ain't got the budget. We ain't got the budget for that type of AI.
Oh, worth a shot though.
Well, the last time I shaved was the Saturday night of the banquet. So I don't know how soon Kenny Rogers is coming back.
Please bring it back. I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard in this organization when I just get a text randomly from Adam saying, just a heads up before Commander's comments tonight, so you don't laugh on the air. But Jason looks like Kenny Rogers and just sends me this random picture of you from somewhere.
Yeah. First time I'd ever been accused of being Kenny Rogers, but ain't nothing wrong with that. Because times I do feel like an island in a stream.
Well, that is what you are.
Yep. What was that group he was in before that? Going to see to see what condition my condition was in. That was a song his group he was in before did. Stopping by to see what condition my condition was in. Yeah, that's going back a long way. Have you found that picture yet?
I am in 2017 on my daddy's profile. God rest his soul. But the man posted so much on Facebook, it's not even funny.
Well, hopefully you find it. I just got a call. I have to go, gentlemen. Y'all continue on. But I wanted to say two things first before I left. One is a big thank you to Jason. I didn't want to roast you tonight because I feel like I've been roasting you for the past 2 years, and I kind of felt bad and surprised I have not been, kicked out of the organization yet. So I want to thank you for that. And the other thing is I want to thank all the chat heads for 4 years. It's been a phenomenal ride, and y'all let me get to chase my dream every day. If you saw the reel we posted today, it's talking about the 1 million views we got just this year alone. And it was talking about chasing your dreams, and that's what I feel like SCV Chat has let me do. And I get to live my dream every day, defend my Confederate heritage and history. And 2 times a week and a lot of planning sessions a week, I get to do just SCV work, continue to grow as a historian, as a person. To Connor's dismay, maybe one day a leader. I don't know. I don't think anyone will vote for me.
I have hopes for you. Hey, before you jump off, Harrison, in 2 weeks, so 2 weeks from today, so you have plenty of time to start researching.
Yeah.
We are doing we're going to start on some stuff on the Immortal 600. So start researching.
Perfect.
I do have a little bit of advice for Moose before he goes. Y'all have heard me talk a lot. You wouldn't believe it at one time that I had to go through speech therapy. because I was a horrible stutterer. I mean, horrible. And I did 4 years of speech therapy to get out of it. People accused me of talking a lot, and it wasn't that I talked a lot. It just took me a long time to get out what I was saying. So it seemed like a lot. So I would encourage you, Moose, to learn to go to a speech therapist and learn how to enunciate and learn how to pronounce some words. That would be my advice to you, because there's going to come a time you're not going to be cute enough to be cutie patootie anymore. So you're not going to be able to get by on your good looks, charm, and personality. And that could be at any moment time.
Whoa. He has personality and charm.
According to the young ladies, he does. And he is about to rapidly run out of those years.
Ooh.
So that time is, it's closing rapidly.
And it
So-
goes faster than you think.
Yes, it does.
These
Yes,
past
it
couple
does.
years have flown by. But,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later, gentlemen. I got to go deal with something, but much love to all y'all. Thank you guys for all coming on, and it's been a great night.
Appreciate you, Moose.
See, Moose.
Love you, little buddy. All right, I'm giving up looking for the picture. Like I said, I'm still in I'm in January of 2017. Good God. I love him. I love him to death. I miss him every day. But, Lord have mercy. Whew.
That bottle, and I was very humbled you gave me that bottle. I'm not where I can open it yet. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not one of these people that leaves a bottle on the shelf. It has to have a special meaning for me to leave it on the shelf. And right now, it's on the shelf. Now, what I mean by on the shelf, I have a couple of bookcases that have, surprisingly or not, books there. And most of them have to do with the times that we talk about. And your daddy's bottle is on that shelf.
Is one of them Albion Seed?
Yes.
Well, reread the first portion of it.
Last time I read that book would have been after Alabama used to do a education conference. They brought it back just this year, but they did. I think they stopped doing them in like 19 or 20. So I haven't read that book since then. That book was talked about heavily in the Alabama Education Conference, and I bought it and read it. Haven't read it then, but I will go back and read it.
Well, we are encouraging everybody to read it because we have a new exclusive thing that we're doing for our Patreon members, the Moosehead Book Club. We are reading Albion Seed. We've done the first podcast episode. Moose and I will be recording the second podcast episode at some point in the this week, whenever we have time, to talk about that. It's important that we understand not only our heritage and our culture and where we come from, but the other ones that have made up these United States, especially Yankee culture, because unless we understand their culture, we won't know how to defeat them. So everybody get a copy of the book, read the book, and if you'll join our Patreon, you'll get our musings and things on that. Really quickly, just as a shout out, I want to remind everybody that we do have some other programs out there. We have Look Around Florida with Sean McFall. That is on Tuesdays. I think I read where Sean, it may or may not be broadcasting due to the storm. Not 100% sure, but check his page, and of course we'll share it out there once we get some clarification on it. Don't forget also Michael C. Hardy usually has his Sunday night chats. We have the Look Around Confederation on Thursday and the Friends of the Douglas Southall Freeman group, usually on Fridays. So almost every single day of the week, you can get some type of Southern programming here on social media, stuff that you will not hear on anywhere else. Hey, Eric Pavetti, nice to see you. Eric wants to remind everybody that adjutant training is on the 15th at 4 p.m. Confederate Standard Time, I'm assuming. Contact Eric up at headquarters to learn how to do your jobs better. Yeah. Really quickly, we didn't take a commercial break this evening, but we do want to thank our sponsor for the first half of this season, Creative Cockades. Heather at Creative Cockades does a fantastic job. She has really great work with her research and documentation, her quality workmanship, and her very professional and personal customer service. She has this very beautiful Jeff Davis campaign cockade reproduction, as well as these wonderful. I actually saw somebody at National Reunion with these replica UCV ones. I'm sure that if you have a picture of your ancestor, she could probably put it in there instead of Robert E. Lee, but she does have very specific ones that you can put in there. Next week, speaking of pictures of your ancestors, we will be resuming our Veteran of the Week. So remember to submit your pictures of your ancestors. Speaking of look around the Confederation, I mentioned it in a breath ago, but remember to send your news stories to scvyouthOutreach@gmail.com. That's scvyouthOutreach@gmail.com. Include a brief narrative of what happened in the pictures so that we can include it on the show. If you have something you've submitted to the veteran, make sure you submit it to us as well. We want to show the world what the SCV is all about, honoring our ancestors and being a band of brothers like you've seen this evening. We will be back at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time with Look Around with Moose. I may be on, I may not be on. Next week's episode is still up in the air. We will notify y'all. We'll probably play trivia, honestly. That'll be a good way to ease back into things. The following week, as I mentioned, we are going to do a dive into the Immortal 600. Really was inspired by their story and seeing the conditions that they were kept in at Fort Pulaski. As well as seeing their unmarked graves, with the exception of the one marker that the SCV put up in 2012. So start reading up on them and be a part of the conversation. Trying to think if I'm missing anything else. After the 19th, I will be taking a couple of weeks off. So for sure the 26th and possibly September the 2nd, I will not be on, so you'll just have Moose. The 26th will be Adam's show with the Hearth and Home episode, talking about the great things going around at our headquarters. Not sure what they'll do on the 2nd. So if you want to be featured on the show, that'd be a great week for you to come on and talk about whether you're author of a new book or if your camp's doing something to help Moose out. I will have surgery on the 22nd of the month and will be, in recovery for a couple weeks afterwards. Love y'all, but won't be able to be on for those days. Other than that, Jason, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for your dedication to this organization and everything. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for believing in us. Adam, thank you for being on. And, we love you and everything you're doing and the staff's doing up at headquarters. Give our love to Miss Cindy. Need to call her one day this week and give her my debit card information so that I can start my payment plan for the 21st Century Confederate Heroes. Remember, you don't have to do the $1,000 all at once. You can break it up into smaller payments. Remember that dues are due, or they were due on the 31st. We are in the grace period. So pay your dues. Pay your dues. Pay your dues. Get them to your adjutant ASAP if you haven't already. Remember, do something good in your community. If you have a wife, daughter, or friend that is not eligible to join the Sons Confederate Veterans, that we have the Friends of the SCV available for anybody who does not meet the membership qualifications. They get a certificate, a lapel pin, 1-year subscription to the Confederate Veteran Magazine. It's open to both men and women. $45 initial investment, $35 a year after that will maintain your veteran subscription. Now, you may be wondering, why would I want 2 veterans? Well, you can have one and you can leave one at your local library. It's a great recruiting idea. Until then, we are going to sign off here with the words of the late and great Harold Philpott, no Fumar in the elevator. And
Thank y'all for everything.
And RAR means I love you in dinosaur.
That's true.